Hello and welcome to The Hop, a podcast designed to help small and medium business owners and marketers to navigate the ever-changing landscape of marketing. I'm your host, Matt, and the owner of Purple Bunny Marketing, and today I'm joined by Nick. Welcome.
Hello. Hi, hello.
And today we're going to talk about social media and the basics. So,
Yes.
let's hop to it, not
Absolutely.
to be corny. Okay, so what is an organic post? So I did some research. And I was a bit gobsmacked by this one to find that that's the number one search thing that people don't understand.
Yeah, it's interesting that it is because it's what you post already to social media. It's what people
Every day.
do every day. You
It's
know,
those selfie moments.
it's like whatever you post to social media, besides like probably like your ads and your boosted posts and stuff like that. But an organic post is pretty much you take a photo or you post something and then, you know, people like it, people comment, and then, you know, it's organic. That's all I can really say about it. Really.
Yeah. And I guess that's what we just wanted to, you know, it seems that business owners out there don't maybe necessarily understand the difference between paid and organic. And obviously organic is the organic side of your business. It's what you're posting to your feed.
It's what your followers will see and stuff like that. But if you paid for it, it's like
you can reach beyond.
Towards, yeah,
100%. So, and I guess we get this question asked a lot of times, a lot of the time. Why should business have social media? Why should they care? Why should they be on the platform?
So personally, if I'm looking for some sort of product or brand or something like that, and they don't have a social media presence at all, or very little, very not good one, they have like a low quality Facebook profile picture.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that product or business at all. I don't trust it.
Okay.
It's like spammy, like, you know.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's important. People will search out now these days, and especially the younger generation, they expect it.
Yeah.
They want to see. They want to know what other people have experienced with the product. They want to know what it's about.
You can think of it as like a bad social media presence also reflects on your own brand as well. You might be like a really great brand in person and everything, but if your social presence isn't there, then a lot of people, including myself, probably aren't going to be interested.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think social media has become a thing that it is hard for businesses to understand what to do.
Yeah.
Hence why we do what we do.
Yeah.
But just having social media, one, will help, but two, doing it effectively is important for business. So if you are going to do it properly, and commit. Do it properly.
Exactly.
So, all right. This is another question we get asked regularly. Or I get a phone call because a new platform drops, like Threads. And someone says, should we be there? Should business be on every social media platform?
Oh, yes, including MySpace. I'm kidding.
I was going to say, I hope you're joking.
Well, no, pretty much. You need to know your audience. So I've been asked before by clients like, oh, should we have a Twitter/X account? I'll always call it Twitter no matter what.
So will I. Yeah.
Ugh.
Sorry, Elon, but we don't care.
We can talk about rebranding another day, but this is about social media
correct.
and stuff. But like, for example, Twitter, I've been using Twitter for ages. It's a very, honestly, it's kind of niche in what it really is.
Yeah.
If you're a small local business, like you're an Ipswich-based business, I don't see the point of having a Twitter account. If you're
Agreed.
a national business, or if you're a worldwide business, then go for it because you can reach, you know, a bigger audience. But
100%. And I think, you know, there's businesses like, for example, that provide support-based services and stuff like that, where they need to communicate quickly and effectively what's going on. I think that platform is amazing.
If you think about, like, you know, the weather. I can't think of what it's called.
The weather. Yes.
Like they need like news type things. That's what
correct
Twitter is pretty much for.
But I mean, in my circle of friends, I talk to most of them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, really? Are you still on Twitter? And I'm like, yeah. But they're not.
Well, I think anything about it as well. It's like, you know, within the people you know, what are they on? You know, 100%. You mentioned Threads, and like people thought it was going to be like overtaking a Twitter, and I kind of did as well. But I think it has I still think it has potential, but like at this current time, I don't see the point of like worrying about another social media. You know, as I mentioned before, like it's about knowing your audience.
Yes.
If you have an older audience, you probably want to focus more on Facebook. If you have a younger audience, focus more on Instagram/TikTok. Like,
agreed.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
100%. Although the oldies are jumping on TikTok trying to find out what we're doing on there. So
I've seen it on my For You page. So.
All right. We'll move on then. So to be clear, we don't need to be on every channel.
No.
We really need to analyse who is our customer, what are we doing, and I guess, then target that platform and make sure that when we do target that platform, you're then being relevant to that audience on that
100%,
platform.
exactly.
So, yeah. All right, perfect. So moving along, obviously social media can be quite time consuming, and another thing that we hear regularly or that business owners say is, I don't have time for it. So how can small business make time for it or effectively manage social media? What would be your advice?
I'd say have a dedicated day or a few hours in one day to be okay, so what am I doing for the month of November?
Yep.
For example, do that halfway through the previous month, it being October, for example.
Yes.
You plan and go, okay, so what's on? So, for example, from November, top of my head, Remembrance Day.
Yep.
I can't think of any other holidays for next month. If you think about December, make it easier. Christmas, New Year's Eve, Boxing Day.
Yeah, you've got all those things coming
What will
up,
I post in those days? What will I need to tell my clients or customers we will be closed that day? Well, that's a post right there.
Yes.
Easy. Bang, that's one day down.
Yep.
It's just that planning is so important. It's just having that day just to do it and then go,
Yeah.
And in that plan as well, go, what do I want to post this month? Where it's you can do a monthly thing, an employee of the month or a member of the month, depending on your clientele, of course. It's just those repeatable things. You don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Or doing a monthly tips and tricks,
Yes.
showing someone what's going on, or what we're doing, a podcast that's providing tips.
Yeah.
Things like that. So you want to be providing information, and you definitely, my number one rule with organic, do not smash your feed with sales and offers. That is what paid advertising is for. That's what that platform is for. If I go to your page and you're just smashing me with offers and not providing me any information or tools or tips or anything about it, I'm not interested. Because you could be not staying there.
Because I just think about, depending what you sell, of course, you're preaching to the choir.
Yes.
If you're providing members and stuff sign up to get this that's great. That's fantastic for your advertising.
Yes.
As a member who already follows you, why am I seeing a $0 join fee type thing?
100%. Or I'm your current and I'm your current member, and suddenly I know that Joe Blow's just got 4 weeks free.
Yeah.
But I had to pay full price at the start.
Yeah.
So you're creating issues within your own customer base.
Which
as well.
I think then probably going back on my own words, I'm you might think about it as they can tell their friends or something like that.
I agree, they can tell their friends, and sometimes running an offer that incentivizes them to share it, so they get some sort of incentive. Gyms are very good at this and effective, where they do run $0 joining, and if you get someone to sign up, we'll give you 2 weeks free. Or whatever, and they give you a discount for bringing a member on board and stuff like that. So it's about knowing your audience, though, and I think that's the biggest thing: is know who your audience is, develop a plan, and develop a series of posts. And I think my last thing that I'm going to throw in there, and something that I say to the team all the time, test and measure. Test it, measure it. If it works, great. If it didn't work, let's find something else. Let's replace it. Let's find another idea, put another post in. And the other thing is, don't be scared to go back to something that did fail in the past, because when it did fail, it might have just been timing. It might have been other factors that affected it. So I think we'll wrap it up. We've got one more question to go, and then we'll wrap it up. But how often should business be posting? Because that's another thing we get asked all the time. Oh, should I post every day, every second day, 3 times a week? What would be your feedback or suggestion around how often?
Look, if you're just starting out, you listen to this episode now and go, oh no, I haven't been posting at all, he's going to think I'm terrible. No. Well, let's just start out slow, right? So I don't expect people to immediately do a lot of posts up straight away. Start off with 3 to 4 posts a week onto your feed. Try to do at least a daily story or something like that.
Yes.
Because it's stories I like to think are in the moment type thing. Posts can be very more planned out.
Correct.
And start with that, and then maybe the next month go, okay, let's try and do 5 posts a week. Keep going up. You should be able to try and be posting daily at the end of the day. With a couple of stories a day, pretty much. And it can just be something basic, like if you're running a cafe, oh cool, we've got fresh bread that's been baked, come buy some fresh bread. Bang, organic post right there.
100%. Yeah, agreed. And I think there's no hard and fast rule to how often. And again, you need to understand your audience. Is your audience going to benefit from a post every day, or are they going to benefit from hearing from you a couple of days throughout the week,
Yeah.
sort of thing. The other thing is that post relevant to all of my audience, or is that post relevant to a section of my audience? So I've already talked to a section of my audience, and now I need to talk to another section. So there's a lot of things that go behind developing a plan and thinking about it. And I agree with you. I think if you're starting out, 3 to 4 a week is a good starting point. But ultimately, yeah, once a day at least. And then stories. Stories are the key. And we're going to talk about that in the next podcast, and about the algorithms and how you can leverage the algorithms by posting and the post frequencies to kind of get the best results for you. So stay tuned for that one, because we're going to talk about that soon. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Nick. Thanks for chatting. Okay. Thanks for talking about the basics of social. Hopefully we've been able to give you some tips to get you started on your journey, and obviously stay tuned for more from us at The Hop. So if you have an opinion about what we've talked about today, or you have some questions about social media that you'd like us to answer, please comment in our social media channels. So stay tuned, and let's get your marketing hopping.